Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Now on my channel I usually try to lean towards bringing out narratives and narration within games. Well, today I'm going to be doing something quite different, as what I'm looking at today is not necessarily what you would call a game per se, but it does have some pretty cool narrative elements in it. What I'm looking at today is what I consider a interactive narrative graphic novel. I think that's kind of that sounds like a lot. Now there are a lot of these out there. I'm going to take you through one of them to kind of explain what the heck I'm talking about. This is just the only one that I have, but there are a bunch of them on like Amazon that you can order. So the one that I'm looking at today is called Captive. Now, the story of Captive is ripped right from the Taken movies. In Captive, you are a father whose daughter's been taken captive, and you have a ransom note that leads you to this big house, and your goal is to, I will find you and I will kill you to get you basically get your daughter back. And you're trying to reach the end of the story. Now, as I talked about Captive, I took some pictures and stuff of the illustrations and the art and whatnot, and I'm going to explain kind of how it works. None of this is going to be any much of a spoiler. If you haven't read Captive or tried to play Captive, this is all just not going to really make a whole lot of sense. So I just wanted to give everyone an idea of what the book looks like, what the graphic novel looks like when you open it up. So first things first, when you open Captive, the first page is kind of like a character sheet. There's a page that will tell you kind of how to play, some of the basic rules, if you will, of how to navigate the book. On the other side will be a character sheet where they delineate how you can kind of build your character. You get certain stats that you can put in certain areas. For role-playing people, this is really nothing new. And you get to fill out a few other things. You can take notes. There are times in the book where it'll have you mark the time stuff on it. I always just create a separate sheet of paper because I don't really want to ruin my book, because I'm one of those people in case I ever want to give it to someone else. And so I just grab another sheet of paper and fill everything out on there. So that's the first thing that you do. The second thing that you do in the book is you will go through kind of a prologue where there's really you're reading just a comic. There's really nothing much that you can do until it hits, just like in a video game, when the cutscene ends, all of a sudden you will be asked to make choices. You have some autonomy, the freedom to make choices in the story, and that's represented by numbers on doors or alleyways or places that you can go. So in a sense, for some of you older people that remember Choose Your Own Adventure, it's kind of like that. Do you take this road or do you take this road? And instead of pages, each panel, I believe that's what they're called in the comic book world, the panels are all numbered. Most of them are numbered. And so if you want to go down this hallway to look for your daughter, you go to panel number 87. And so you flip to 87 and kind of see what happens down that hallway. There might be multiple branching doors. I know there's one where I think there was 5 different numbers, doors that you could take. 157, 189, 101, things like that. And so you kind of choose your own adventure. At times it'll ask you to do, at least I've run into one puzzle so far, where you have to put together certain icons in your head or whatever, work things out and come up with a solution. And if you do, then it'll provide you with the right numbered panel for you to go to. If not, then it'll kind of take you back around and you just end up wasting your time. So there's, as far as I know, there's at least a puzzle or some puzzles in here. There are also some spots where you can kind of get trapped, sort of, where you're just kind of going in a circle, and so you need to find the way out. I have not messed around with this book a whole lot. Like I said, I've just kind of played through it once, so I have not beaten this. I was turned on to this particular book, not necessarily the whole interactive storytelling graphic novel thing, because I did purchase one of these earlier in my few years ago for someone's child that I kind of cared for, but I've never played one myself until now, until earlier today. But I was kind of really taken by this Captive and by this company that's puts these out, because they have more of these, as I've mentioned, because Kevin Lean, in our show, the top 5 solo games, he was talking about these. So if you want to check out that video, he talks more about these. He says that he has not beaten this book. I know that sounds like a weird phrase. I haven't beaten the book. I haven't either, because I have not tried it enough, but you can go back and go through it again and again and again, and as you learn, or as you go, you learn, like, oh, I remember that door, I remember this panel, that door down there takes me to, there's a guy with a gun, you know, that didn't work out so well for me, maybe I'll go this way. At other times you will be asked to do certain kind of checks, I guess you would say, where it's like, I want to break this door down. Well, if you have, and then you check your character sheet, because you have like a character that's got stats, as I've said. If it's higher than 6, if your strength is higher than 6, then you can go to 187. If it's not, then turn to panel 79. And so how you create your character will kind of mold and shape and form like where you can go, what you can't, where you can't go, what certain interactions. There's a willpower section that has to deal with other people and being able to have like willpower, like mental toughness, and you obviously can't be the best in all of them. That's the way they've designed the game, so you have to kind of pick which one you want to be a little better at, and because of that you will do better or worse in whatever path that you choose. It's kind of an interesting idea. Obviously, that's about all I have to say about the game. The book, the narrative game. And so this is a really good one I recommend this for like readers, for comic book fans, for people that want to do, air quotes, a game by themselves, because you can just sit in your bed with the lamp on at night or a glass of wine or whatever and just flip through and play through these on your own, just for your own little enjoyment and experience and narrative. And they have lots of these books out, so you can buy them in bulk if you want and just kind of play through all of them. All the books are different. They're completely different themes. There's like a Sherlock Holmes one. There is a Western. So they're not all these kind of dark stories like Captive is, which I should mention, Captive is a dark story. There's like killing in it, there's kidnapping, little girl being in peril, stuff like that. Nothing too crazy, I would say, that I've seen so far, or too explicit and things like that. So yeah, I recommend this to any type of gamer that wants to just kind of have a reading as a game. It's pretty cool, and you can always keep buying more if you like them, but I started with Captive. I got it on Amazon. I recommend, if this interests you, check it out on Amazon, pick up your own copy, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you ever beat it. Actually, let Kevin know if you ever beat it, because he hasn't beaten it yet, and he's definitely way more into these things than I am. This is something new to me. So, this is going to be the end of the video. Captive. It is by... who is this by? It's by the graphic novel Adventures by Van Ryder Games, if you're looking for something to Google. Van Ryder Games. And so that's going to be it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching and checking this out, and as always, I will see y'all at the next video.